Hello, my name is Artillerymen. Welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Japan. In previous episode we did a lot of colonizing on here in Oceania and all that. We got a lot of different islands. There might actually still be some colonies that we could start. Apparently in Australia at least. And I suppose technically speaking also, well, British are already colonizing Southern Ireland and probably Northern Ireland as well, to be fair. So I don't know how much we'd be able to get from there. Maybe not too much. And then Celebs is the next one. But I suppose for that we want to get the Queen in first. So we're not going to do that. But we've got another war brewing up in here. We also did conquer a little bit of Borneo. But hopefully get a little bit more stuff around here soon. They can't call in anyone bigger anymore. But they are still fearful. So it's very likely that they'll surrender. Quite easily, I might add. Oh, but in the meanwhile, we might actually get the per capita taxation now. Maybe. Come on. There we go. That's going to be a lot of extra money. Oh, the Netherlands is having a bit of a revolution. It's probably Dutch East Indies, actually, that's having it. Yeah. There's a peasant revolt there. I'm going to declare neutrality on that one. Oh. Yeah, they do quite a bit of land in there, so that will keep them somewhat busy, unless they give up immediately. So, are you going to give up, or are you going to let me conquer all of it? There's the question. I suppose another thing that we should be doing is expanding our navy a little bit. We don't have a lot of it quite yet. Or rather, oh, there we go. We actually got a war. Well, well, well. So how's the defensive values should be fairly low, and we got pretty decent attack values. So we should be able to win this battle quite handily. Well, actually, they got pretty good defensive values in there. Slightly surprised by that. Okay, so that's going to be a loss. Well, in the meanwhile, I suppose what we could do is we could use our navy to raid the convoys, for example, going through there. So their troops will suddenly have a lot less morale. Some of them are already losing morale quickly, but clearly not quite enough. So yeah, that was a loss. We still haven't gotten the breech-loading artillery, which, to be fair, we're not that far off. Well, it's about a year and a half still away. Let's have a look at the laws. Is there anything else that we need to pass? Like the proportional taxation, I don't think we're going to change right now. There's no movement for it. So yeah, I guess not. But at least we got the per capita taxation. That already makes a massive difference in the income. We could go from colonial resettlement. Well, I suppose since we don't have the migration, so yeah, we could try to go for the colonial exploitation, but there's not really a lot of support for it. Although, is there actually movement for it? No. Hold on a minute then. Oh, right. Jingo's ideology increases that. Okay. I was not aware of that. But now we are. We could try passing the right little assembly again. The shogunate would not enjoy that. Buddhist monks would really hate that. Intelligentsia would love that, and trade unions would also like that, although they are marginalized, so we really shouldn't be paying too much attention to them. But that would allow us to get get rid of the minus 10% tax spread, so it would be quite nice to get that. Do we need to... Oh, there's a classwork upgrade, or expansion coming to Kyushu already. How is the market doing right now? Coffee price is slowly dropping. We do produce a decent bit of coffee. Sugar price is pretty high. Okay, well, for the sugar price, what we probably need to do is just get more rice farms, really. That also means a lot more food, which admittedly is going to be a lot cheaper that way. Oh, there we go. Did we... Oh, we got another combat. This time we are going to win that. There we go. So that is conquered. So that's... Oh, industrial barriers. Factories in Kyushu are refusing to hire Han people, owing to their status as a second-class citizens in Japanese shogunate. I say all are needed to build the future. The petite bourgeoisie is actually no longer marginalized, but they're still fairly loyal, so I'm not too worried about that one. It does give us a bit of extra bureaucracy right now, but that bureaucracy is probably going to run out. Although I suppose in the meanwhile we could put in something in there, like the extra assimilation. Let's actually have a look. So with the extra assimilation, does that affect everywhere, or just states that you have incorporated? Is there a... No, I don't think there is any, at least in northern Borneo. Let's see, for example, somewhere like Bougainville. No. Pretty obvious that we haven't gotten anything there. I suppose it could also be... No, it's 20 years. Okay, so coring all of this is going to be very, very time consuming. I'd probably not do that then. Plus, it's not going to be that massive impact in the grand scheme of things anyway. Right, so we're still losing quite a bit. I mean, I suppose there's still some unrealized taxes. But hold on, did the per capita taxation... No, it just increased the tax levels as such. So how do we get rid of isolationism? We need to get the industrialists in power, quite frankly. So if we were to change the government to be industrialists and intelligentsia, it would be rather bad for the stuff. We could go for... You know what, we'll go for that one. It's going to be bad for our loyalist numbers and all that. For the Writers' Assembly, although it's not being supported by the industrialists right now. After that, we're going to start passing some of the other laws, like getting rid of the isolationism. Or going for better economic laws, like interventionism, for example. Gold discovered in Victoria. Oh. Well, that's quite nice. Is there anything over here that has been discovered? There's no gold in here. In northern Borneo, there's some gold mines, but we don't have a lot of pops there, unfortunately. I suppose another thing that we should do is get the migration controls done. Oh, raising concern. Intelligentsia have expressed their concern about a government decision clearly favoring the interests of the industrialists. Right. We're gonna go for this needs to be addressed. Because I don't want intelligentsia to lose too much power right now. Mostly because our ruler is from that interest group, so, you know, it would be against his interest. And if we're role-playing as the ruler, then it would be also against our interest. Right, so we've done the conquering there. Let's go ahead and do a landing somewhere. For example, which one of them had the most armies? Jambi has only 3 battalions, so we can easily do a landing there. So, oh, right, is that... Oh, we lost a general. I didn't realize that. Right, well, let's recruit a new one in Japan. We could go for the romantic, I suppose. Gonna give Shogun a little bit more power, but that's just how it's gonna have to be. I suppose we could give the new general a promotion. Hey, more gold discovered in Hokkaido. Spread the word. Now, unfortunately, the migration attraction thing will not have any sort of impact right now. But maybe in the near future we can do something about that. And are we increasing the institution? Yeah, we're increasing the education to... Oh, it's 400 each. Oh, wow. Okay, we're gonna need a lot more bureaucracy, that's for sure. A story has been making the rounds about a miner who struck it rich and became the wealthiest man in his town. People in Hokkaido are beginning to live beyond their means, convinced they'll all become rich soon enough. All that is gold does not glitter. I'd say reduce the radical numbers in there from the standard of living decreases. Will be beneficial for us. Oh, there's some combats over there, and our landing is going to take another 25 days to arrive. Oh, and that's all the rice farms. Oh, right, the rice farm will be covered by the investment pool transfers, aren't they? Well, a decent chunk of them are at least. Or, well, the farms are, but the glassworks is not. That does remind me, though, maybe we'll put in a bit of... Oh, that class... Okay, we got so many classworks. So maybe we don't expand that one. That was the one that we started with. Over here, we could also expand these. Put in the mines over here to be expanded automatically. Maybe the whaling station as well. And the fishing. So that should be a pretty decent amount of things that will start expanding. And our landing is going to be a success. So then we'll get rid of Jambi. And there's going to be a jumping off point into Sumatra as well. Yeah, but sending in some troops in here. How quickly do they arrive? Not quick enough, I'd say. New literature. The Shogun has been caught reading a controversial censored book, sparking further questions over the debate about the right of assembly law. Embarrassing, but this supports our cause, so we lose 50 prestige. But an maximum success chance plus 20%. Or minus... Okay, well, we're gonna sacrifice some of the prestige while we get this thing done. In the meanwhile, our GDP has been in a steady increase at least. Oh, there we go. The landing is done there. I think Bali is going to be a little bit difficult to do the landing in. Why is their troop quality? It's actually not that much. In that case, we can probably afford doing it. So it was the Mitsue that will do the landing. Oh, we haven't conquered everything yet, so we need to do a landing into Sulu as well. But I suppose if we can force out some of their allies out of the war, then that will help us a lot along the way. Plus Bali, I mean, it's going to be a lot of troops in there, so I don't know if we'll be able to successfully land in there, but we'll see. If we can't, then we'll do a landing in Sulu, and then we'll try another landing again later. Insufficient agriculture. We should probably follow their advice. Right, so the rice plantation, all the rice farms have been done, so the sugar price has dropped. Let's have a look at these. So coffee price is still pretty high. Opium is, well, there's not that much demand for it, but the price is pretty high. Transportation is a little bit limited in here. Is this one actually... Oh yeah, we got a bit of lack of infrastructure in here. Right, well, let's build a new railway then. Is there any other places where low market access? Hokkaido and Kansai. So Kansai is being dealt with right now, and Hokkaido, well, there's not too much I can do about this. Unless I get rid of something like the fishing wharves. Which I might actually do for the time being. So the infrastructure in there... Oh, what's this then? Australia... Oh, right, not Australia, but Great Britain is fighting the guy Tahoe, which I believe is the one in the southern island, right? Yes. Right, so that is going to be dealt with fairly soon, I guess. So how long until our landing in Bali? It's going to be 4 days. I'm hoping that we can actually successfully land in there. I'm not entirely sure if we can. We'll give it a try at least. We got 75 innovation. We could probably increase that a little bit. Hokkaido isn't giving a full amount quite yet, unfortunately. We've got about 1/3 of a chance of passing that. Oh, right, we landed there successfully. Right, so we got another combat coming up. Oh, right, Jambi has surrendered. That's one out of the war. We probably... Oh, we got a port here already. Let's get a cargo port to make sure that the infrastructure is going to be sufficient. Although right now it should be. Then we've got the logging camp. We could probably give it a bit of sawmill treatment. And I suppose we'll put in the hardwood production on there as well. Just in case. And there is a little bit extra pops in here. So we could... the sugar plantation, let's actually get the rail transportation in there. But then we'll build another level for that. I think that will work. And the rice farms, I suppose we could use harvesting tools. And maybe even fertilizers to increase the productions. Livestock ranch. It's already intensive grazing. We could go for butchering tools if need be. That would increase a little bit meat production. We don't have a massive demand for extra meat right now, but it probably doesn't hurt. Is there anything else over here that we should double check right now? The tea plantation is already using this stuff. Tobacco plantation is already using the railways as well. So I'm pretty sure that all of this is more... Ooh, actually, the farms could use a bit of a boost there. And then the ports we got already... We got a lot of them, to be fair. That's pretty much already done. So we're fighting in Bali. We are actually going to win that. They got a lot of troops, but they're not particularly good troops. That's about to be done. There we go. So Bali should surrender. And then I suppose what we could do is we can just do one more landing with Tokugawa, and then that is going to be all of these done. Oh, right, we're going to have a bit of a bureaucratic shortfall. Let's go ahead and build another one of the administration centers in Kansai. We haven't been able to increase the construction speed quite as much yet. I suppose we do have some of the tax cuts right now still active, and then of course being at war and all that does cost us a little bit. Got a lot of convoys going through here. Not that we are short in convoys by any means, especially since we don't do any international trading quite yet. Although, once we've done the right of assembly, we can maybe get rid of the isolationism. And after that, we'll go for the border controls or migration controls. And then after that, maybe the better economic laws or something like that. So we've got a lot of laws that we need to pass. I don't know how quickly we'll pass them. Oh, it's spreading the ironclad to us. I mean, that's not too bad. We can start switching to the steamer ships. And there we go. Our landing is going to be a success. We got the Sunda Islands over here. Oh, wow, that is a lot of stuff in here. Right, I'm just going to take a few moments to go through these to double check that all the productions are as good as they need to be. Right, there we go. So how's the landing? That is almost done. And then that will probably force them to surrender fairly quickly. I mean, now that we conquered that, so yeah, there's no fighting being done anymore, so sooner or later they'll just surrender. It's gonna be dropped. Oh, there we go, right, assembly done. Right, so what I was saying earlier was getting the migration controls done first. I think would be the smart idea, actually. Because that is going to allow the extra pops in sort of central Japan to start moving around. In places like Hokkaido and other areas where those will be very much needed, the pops. And then, of course, also means that the populations in other areas will start becoming more and more Japanese as well. It's not necessarily going to be having that much of an impact in the grand scheme of things, but it probably won't hurt. Boiler explosion. A factory in Japanese Sunda Islands has been rocked by a tremendous boiler explosion. Will actually increase the interest group political strength for industrialists. Because industrialists are in government right now. The higher legitimacy, that, or rather the popularity, or the clout, I believe is the name. Oh, education investment increased to level 2. We still got quite a bit extra bureaucracy actually, but the authority has dropped a little bit. Maybe we'll have to drop one of the taxes in here. Let's have a look. So what would be the luxury clothing is actually pretty high. It's about the same as the luxury furniture, to be fair. And then services is just massive. Right, so we're losing quite a lot of money here. We still got some gold reserves. So I'm not too worried about this. I mean, especially once the war ends and all that. And then once the taxation discounts that we did more or less to pass the taxation law have expired. Although I think they are pretty close to having expired. Especially once we start doing some trading as well, that's going to be a massive boost for us. So the Sumatra sugar plantation is going to get an expansion there. Transportation is a bit troubled in here. I suppose the transportation in general is going to need an expansion. Let's go ahead and get some railway levels up here. Oh, that doesn't even have a railway there yet. That's going to start producing some more infrastructure or transportation. We'll get another motor interest just in case. And there we go. Sulu has been conquered. Let's have a look at what we conquer in here. Or what we got as things in here. There's a bit of logging camps. There's some farms. Although the pops in here are quite limited, to say the least. Which means that we'll be increasing the... Oh, right. There's administration buildings. I didn't go through all of those, did I? This one could be upgraded to standardized filing cabinets as well. Did they? They didn't have one there, and they didn't have one there. So, what about over here? We got some livestock ranches, not too much, and the tobacco plantation. Do they have? They do have a port actually, so we can switch that one. Then, if we have a look at Luzon over here, they do not have a port, but they don't need to have a port. It's connected through northern Borneo, I suppose. So there we go. That should help a little bit with the. Oh, and gold depleted in Tasmania. Okay. Well, that's not really my problem, but I suppose it's interesting to know. So the breech-loading artillery is going to be done in 4 months. We'll get there soon enough. The taxation laws and all that, we are still spending a lot of money on everything. What is... Okay, transportation is really expensive right now, so that might be causing a lot... Oh, Balinese succession, or secession. Okay, so we might have to fight them again. There's a lot of turmoil, admittedly. I don't think I can really reduce it that much, so we're going to have a civil war in there. But after that, it's going to take a while before they'll do another one, so I guess that's fine. The amount of radicals, we got 1 million already, so that has been going up. The loyalists have been going down steadily. Oh man, yeah, it's 3 weeks. And, well, okay, it's not quite as much anymore, but it was going up. Okay, concrete or reinforced concrete, so construction sector building throughput is going to increase, so we'll be able to, with the same amount of stuff in here, we'll... Oh, actually, no, it did increase that. Right, so Korea is supporting us, at least in name. I don't think they'll be doing much, admittedly. Right, so we'll just need to prepare our invasion fleet. How much troops do they have there? Plus, do they have the better stuff now? They got a barracks, they should have the skirmish infantry and all that, but... It's actually still in the switching phase, so they got penalties in there. But it's going to take a while before the war starts, admittedly. And then they got the conscription centers, but not a lot in there. So they'll have 5 battalions total. So our 20 battalion landing force will be sufficient, most likely, to get through their front lines, as it were. Ah, there we go. Railway in Kansai almost done. And I suppose the railway is being built with the investment pool money. At least, yeah, it is. Or it should be. Korea declared rivalry. Oh. Are you trying to get rid of our alliance there, then? Alliance broken, okay. Are you still part of the diplomatic play, though. No. They're leaning towards the enemy now. Interesting. I mean, well, with the rivalry now, we'll just do a landing in Korea, I suppose. Foreign phase. The session of migration controls has caused a debate among the Buddhist monks whether immigrants will share the uniquely Japanese religious sensibilities. I think we should accept immigrants who do not practice their faith as we do, because that 15% extra chance is going to be really important for us. Right, so the paper mills are being built, so how's the paper price right now? It's actually not too bad, but it's still going to reduce the demand a little bit. I suppose we could also give another level for the tooling workshop, because that's something that will always need more. While it might not be that much profitable right now, it will be in the future. Hey, and we got the artillery unlocked now. Let's go for the quinine, because I know that that was something that I was talking about earlier. Although, you know, we'll get a psychiatry first. That's going to reduce the bureaucracy cost. Multiply at least a little bit. Okay, so we've got already 200,000 in debt right now. We'll hopefully get that sorted out soon. And the war has started. 2 arms. Go ahead and use our fleet. Do a landing in there. We'll use Tokugawa. Oh, have we lost another general? Oh, bollocks. As long as we don't lose Tokugawa quite yet. Oh yeah, we got a lot of troops in here. Experienced diplomat, so that... Oh, morale recovery. That's not too bad, but we'll take the defensive strategies over here for now. And then we'll promote that one. I want to keep the attacking one as a sort of smaller army for the time being. So now we should have 5 battalions that are not part of any armies. Admittedly, we do have a fleet of 32 ships, so we could have a bit larger army, but I'd rather have a bit of extra ships rather than too many battalions trying to land at the same time. That's the less of a problem, let's just say. Oh, there we go. So we're not losing that much money anymore. I think the taxation is now getting a lot better again. And once we get some of the glass works done, I mean, I suppose there's also the fact that we're getting about 40,000 from investment pool transfers. That probably helps at least a little bit. Right, oh, well, the landing has started, and it's going to be... Oh, they plundered as well. Oh boy. Oh boy. Maybe they switch their trip quality as well there. Or if it's just... oh, they don't have a high morale... Well, they did have okay morale at the start. But yeah, they definitely switched their troop qualities around again. I'm pretty sure about... Well, actually, no, it is skirmish infantry. Perhaps they haven't, but... There we go, they're losing their things rather quickly here. Crooked connections. Ooh. Went time, minus 20%. How good is the industrialist approval? It's pretty good, actually, so we'll grant him permission. So we can pass the migration controls a bit faster, hopefully. Right, the radical numbers are still growing, and the loyalist numbers are still dropping very, very rapidly. Man, we lost 1 million loyalists in a year. Psychiatry unlocked, alright. We could go for the postal savings real quick, and then go for the quinine. Just get some of these society techs done. And also, I suppose another thing that we should be doing soon enough is improving our... Oh, we got eruption over here. Okay, we'll pay. And then we'll get another university at Kansai, because that is gonna be affected by... Actually, no, it's not really affected the innovation, but I suppose we don't have enough in there to know for sure. Like, it might... I'm pretty sure that it used to be affected by that. They may have changed that. There we go. They will surrender. So now we've got 1 million... radicals again. We should probably try reducing some of that sooner rather than later. But there's just not too much that I can do about it quite yet. Is there... Oh. Oh, right. Vladivostok is in the Russian hands again, and they've taken part of the Manchuria, although I think they did that already some time ago, didn't they? But yeah, we got Jambi. We didn't get into Pera quite yet. Well, I suppose we should probably wait a little bit before we do another war, because our economy is not the strongest. We could increase the taxation... Oh, we've gotten to the middle bracket with the legitimacy net right now, so at least the amount of radicals should, well, not necessarily start dropping too much, but at least not grow as quickly. The loyalist numbers might plateau as well a little bit there. But yeah, overall our economy isn't all that strong, but once we get the migration controls, once we start trading with other nations, we'll be in a lot better situation. Opium is still something that we need desperately, and wood apparently is another thing that we need quite a bit. Let's get a few, well, let's just get all 5 of them here. That's going to produce wood and hardwood production drastically. Oh, and there we go, migration laws has been passed. Let's have a look at the laws in here. So isolations, we should probably get rid of that. We'll go for protectionism. That's, generally speaking, a pretty good one. Shogunate does not enjoy that, but at the same time, if we can start trading with the other nations, that's probably fine. As long as we stay a shogun, we should be fine overall. At least that is the goal anyway for this series, to stay as a shogun. But we are going pretty fast in time here. We didn't unlock Quinine quite yet. Working on the postal savings and then we'll get Quinine. We could of course do a war against Banjar, although right now, since we are at peace, we should probably start switching to the shrapnel artillery. It does increase ammunition consumption rather drastically, but that doesn't just mean that we can increase the munitions plant over here and be totally fine. Explosive price is not too bad. It's actually a bit too low even. Oh, Sire wants a defensive pact. You know what? I'll take it. It's not much, but it might help in a pinch. Oh, Dutch is Indies has switched colors here. It used to be orange. Alright, well, as you were, I suppose. So Brunei, who are you? You got defensive pact with Sintang. Oh. If I was to attack in North Borneo, well, we shouldn't do that right now because we just switched our troop quality. But once that modifier is gone, so 1880s is where we're gonna probably start conquering again in Borneo. If we could take Brunei and Sintang, that'd be brilliant. Then Sambas and a few others. Oh, there's a bit of a revolution going on for, what's that, Baton? Yeah, Baton. Yeah, not really something we need to worry about. Getting another university very shortly, and our literacy rate is already 42%, so that's not too bad. We'll probably afford increasing another one of the institutions. Let's get the health system upgraded a little bit in there. And just out of curiosity, have we managed to do any sort of increase in population over here? There is some troop or people moving in. Oh yeah, there's Japanese now in there. It's the 4th largest in northern Borneo. So that is fixing a lot of the labor issues that we've had, most likely. There's not a lot of peeps in here, but is there... Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of migration now going to Hokkaido. That is definitely good news for us. Getting a lead mine over here. Alright, so it's a level 6 then. Getting a lot of logging camps as well. Well, we definitely need that. Paper mill, we're getting a lot of the... Oh, okay. Ooh, right, we're losing a lot of money again. There's still a decent bit of unrealized taxes. And the loyalist numbers are still dropping. Oh boy. Lost another 500,000 in the last year or so. Although like 6 months since the last time we checked. But still, it's been going down a lot. Descenders break ranks. Oh. Okay, Splitters Devil take them. What we'll just do is we'll stop passing that one. We could try going for mercantilism. Or we could try go for better economic laws first. Intervention is something we could try passing. Shogunate would oppose that. Peasants would oppose that. But I think we'll try to go for that one regardless. We've got around 15% chance of passing it. Legitimacy, on the other hand, has dropped again, which is not great. Most of the interest groups do like... Well, a lot of the interest groups do like us, but peasants, monks, and the shogunate do not. The clergy, at least, doesn't hate us. Unlike the other two. And that is the 3 big... Well, was the 3 biggest interest groups in there. So, not necessarily the best. How's the troop quality now? How much further do we need to go for the troops to be up to date? 5 more months. Okay, so we need to wait until like April before we can do... Well, I suppose we don't need to wait all the way to April. Somewhere around there. Resource boom in Tohoku. So that's more mining throughput over there. As well as the logging camps as well. So I believe the wood price has dropped a lot. Ammunition price is still bloody massive, but we are working on that one. I suppose we also could use a bit more coal. So I'm gonna, first of all, make sure that these can expand on their own as well, if it's profitable, and get a bit more coal production. Right, so how is Hokkaido doing in terms of pops now? It's 110,000. It's actually losing a little bit. I suppose the migration isn't quite as much anymore. But there's still a lot of room in there. Oddly enough. But let's have a... Oh, gold mines. Right, these are underway already. All working pretty much full speed. And then over here we got a lot of plantations. Are we getting any migration in here? A little bit. Not massive amounts, but there is definitely quite a bit of migration going on. Is there any areas with low... Oh. Japanese Luzon needs a bit more infrastructure. For that, we should probably just go ahead and get ourselves a railway. That's probably going to be a lot faster way of doing it than the ports. I mean, ports would give us a convoys, to be fair, so there's that. Postal saving is just 5 months away. And I believe we should probably have a look at the taxation. So the biggest is Chubu right now in terms of deficit on the taxation efficiency. Give it 2 levels there. So we're going to increase that. That's going to give us a bit more of the taxes back. Is there actually any... No, it's just the waste in there overall. Let's have a look. So the luxury clothing is less than what we'd get from team. I suppose at this stage it's time to drop the wages for the government a little bit. The army will keep still pretty high. The government wages, if we drop that, that's going to start reducing the deficit quite a bit. Still not quite there. Shogun intervenes in politics. Ooh. Sure, I'll take 20% chance of passing that. That's now 35% total. And I just realized that we are way over time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like or subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.